Hey folks, Kelly Indy Smith here and welcome to my video. So today we're going to be talking about personal hygiene. This is something we should have learned in our childhood years. We should have learned way early on in our journey. This is something, our parents teach us growing up and all that stuff. But I think just witnessing society, witnessing different things and just how life is set up, I could talk to people and they'd be like, yeah, like some people need some work in that area and whatnot. But I don't know. I think personal hygiene is so important, but we don't speak about it that much. And literally, like, it's you and how you present yourself. That's the first thing someone sees when they see you, is if you take care of yourself, if your personal hygiene is up there, or if you're just like a sloppy rat. Anyhow, um, so a few years ago, we went into this natural beauty movement. We went into, although, like, to be very fair, there's people who have always been on that journey. Shout out to you. But we went into this journey as a society where we began embracing beauty from all different angles, right? And we try to diversify, I have to say try because we're not there yet. We try to diversify the image of beauty and the image of, self love and self care and all that stuff. And I think even now, self care, we're still trying to change and tweak and make self care something that really everyone could take part in and everyone is allowed to explore, and not just persons who are wealthy could say like, okay, I'm taking a self-care trip, I'm going to a spa or whatnot. Like, it's not even about that. It's really just taking care of yourself, whatever that looks like. So to me, the basic minimum is personal hygiene, right? And so even if we've had this movement, and to the core it's a good movement, it has its fallacies and all that, it's still good. I realize that a lot of people have taken this movement and use it as an excuse to just neglect their personal hygiene, to neglect themselves, to neglect putting in the work required for them to, you know, up upkeep themselves, or just really nurture themselves as an adult, as you grow into just being, who you are as a person, especially as a woman. And one of the biggest examples that comes to my mind is our hair, right? And hair is a big deal. Hair is such a big deal. And while, I'm all for natural beauty, like natural beauty, I think nothing beats natural beauty, whether it's your face, whether it's your hair, whatever it is, nothing beats that. I don't care how slayed your makeup gets, I don't care. Nothing beats natural beauty, because that's the image of God. And you can't tell me God with lashes. What? No. So to me, natural beauty is like, it's the epitome of beauty, is natural beauty. And so with that, I still see the need, though, that with my hair, I still need to take care of my hair. I still need to take care, whether I'm locking my hair, I'm dreading my hair. For those people who could identify their locks as dreads, if you know, you know. If you don't, then whatever. But, for people who are locking their hair and doing all these things, there is still a way that you do it, that you're supposed to keep yourself in that realm of cleanliness. For people who are natural, who like to rock their fro, there's still a way that you do it, that you still keep it in the realm of cleanliness. You find that some people, you find that some people, they use the movement, they use, the social fad as an excuse to be like, yeah, like, I'm this, I'm that. And really, it's just laziness of not wanting to learn how to take care of your hair. It's really laziness of not wanting to spend an extra 5 minutes when you get up, or wake up an extra 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it is, to take care of your hair. There's no reason that someone should know the color of your mattress based on looking at your hair, because our hair absorbs everything. So there's no reason like your hair should be like picking up stuff from the bed, and it's like you go outside and there hasn't been that kind of like cleansing process in between the two. That does not work. There is no movement that is, or that should be, for that. There is nothing pro self, pro black, pro natural care about being pro filthy. You have to do things in a certain way that ensures, yes, the end goal is that I am loving myself, the end goal is that I am embracing my natural self, but taking it back, I am not neglecting the work that needs to put in to just make sure that I am cleansed and, producing myself, not even producing, but presenting myself in a way that, people look at me and they respect me because I am clean, and cleanliness is godliness, you know? And I know I just kind of went in on the hair because to me that's the main one I could see. But even with our personal hygiene, like, you find that some people don't even know like what parts of their bodies that they should be actively like washing. Like, I'm talking about the back of your ear. I'm talking about like your navel. I'm talking about, the armpits. Like, slap that rag and scrub your back. Like, excuse me, there are so many, aspects of our personal hygiene that I think we've just lost and we don't know. And that's the thing, is like when we just completely push back on traditional values, when we completely push back on what, our grandparents did, our parents did, and we think like, I know what to do. It's like, but wait, you haven't even explored what they did, so now you could come up with what to do. How does that work? Something else that comes to mind is the act of washing yourself, always washing yourself. Growing up, I remember, okay, you always wash yourself. You wash at night. Now, if it's something where you can't wash at night, you can't like get a full shower at night, there's something in my culture called a cowboy. You take a cowboy, which means you could have a wet rag, you wash your armpit, you wash your face, the back of your ear, your navel, and your private. And that's cleansed, and obviously your feet. If you can't do the cowboy, it's been a long day, you just wash your feet. And even with that washing feet, there's this scripture. It says, where Jesus is cleaning his disciples' feet, and I think it's Peter that says, Lord, like, I will not let you wash my feet. And Jesus says, if I don't, you will not be cleansed. And then Peter was like, well, if that's the case, you could wash my head, like wash everything. And Jesus was like, no, if you've already been cleansed, you only need to wash your feet. And I don't know if my culture or whoever, however, that tradition, not really tradition, but that practice of, okay, if you've had a long day and you don't shower, you wash your feet. I don't know if that was taken directly from, or if it was influenced by scripture to know that, okay, wash your feet before you go to bed. But it's something where I think it's powerful, because there's been times where it's been a long day, I cannot shower because I'm so tired. Wash my feet, go home, come in my bed, and I sleep like a baby. I feel so cleansed just by washing my feet. But people don't know that. You find people sleep on their beds with like dirty feet, dirty clothes. Like, how do you do that? How do we do that? And again, it's this thing where we reject what our parents told us, or what our grandparents told us, and we just want to do our own thing without knowing why they did what they did. So not even understanding, like, when you go to your bed, you go to bed with a different set of clothes than what you probably stay in the house with. And listen, like, I'm not saying that I am like, the queen of doing this. Like, there's been times like you know I'll sleep with her clothes and then I'll wake up and spend the whole day and then whatever. But the idea is that you have some kind of a structure, and you have a way of, you know structuring your personal hygiene, structuring yourself, and knowing like, okay, like, I am a living organism, I am a living being, I am a spiritual being, and I this desires sacredness. My temple desires some kind of sacredness, you know? And that's the other thing, is like, if our bodies are temples, how are you treating your temple? How often do you wear a dirty sock? I know when I was young I used to get like fungus because I would, to me, if the sock wasn't like smelly, then I could still wear it. But no, it's like, how often do you wear a clean sock? How often do you, just change stuff that you use and that everyone, is exposed to, and all that stuff. I think our personal hygiene is so important, and we fail to realize that it represents us, it says a lot about us. So many times, you're in a space, whether it's your boss is smelling funky, your boss's personal hygiene is just their breath smell. No. And I think there's nothing wrong with you. And I think that's another one. We don't put ourselves in positions where we could we could criticize ourselves. You need to criticize yourself. You need to have a sober look at yourself and be like, no, yes, no, yes. So if it's, when you wear deodorant or whatnot, throughout the day, smell yourself. I mean, some people already do this. Kudos to you. Smell yourself and see, is this deodorant working for me? If it's not, switch out your deodorant until you find something that's going to work for you. During the day, after you've been talking a while, smell that. Does that smell bad? If it smells bad, you need to do something different. If it doesn't, kudos to you. But let's continuously find ways to put our personal hygiene up there. And you could even, have a friend you trust and be like, do I smell funky? I know I do that with my friend all the time. Do I smell funky? And she will be honest and tell me yes, no, whatever, whatever. But at least you know. And when you feel good about yourself, and others feel good about you, there's nothing better than that. You don't want to be that person that you think you feel good about yourself, and then there are people who don't want to be around you because you smell funky. There are people who don't want to be around you because your personal, like, they're tolerating you because they love you, but your personal hygiene is just like, yikes. And most times you won't find someone come and tell you about your personal hygiene because they won't want to hurt your feelings. I have said a lot. I think I've said enough.